This is my TIPPMANN FA factory auto. I've taken it apart. I've polished the barrel a little bit, and a couple other things to it. It looks like someone has actually cut a little slot right here at the trigger frame just to be able to get to this line a little bit easier. But the spring in the actual hopper winds just fine, and when it's painting it, it'll give a little tension. It has a what I think is a die barrel on it. It's about a 12-inch barrel, and the only thing that's going to need to be done to it is that the top here, you can see it actually has these two little pistons. They slide just fine, but they need to have some hydraulic fluid put into it, something kind of nice and thick is what I've been told. But the pin's there, all the parts are there. It just needs to be adjusted and made right. It also has an upgraded velocity adjuster on the back, which is basically turned in all the way on that. The only other thing to note too is it's missing a little bolt right there, and the screw that's on it doesn't look like it's the right one, because the other one is a rounded head, this one's a flat head, and so it needs a different screw to go in there. But right now it's holding the ASA in just fine, so it's staying in there. It's pretty tight in there. It's got a little bit of oil on it because I just put some oil in it. It has a switch on the side here, so you can switch it to safety, semi, and then full auto. And what that does basically is that when it's in safety, or when it's in semi, the trigger can go a certain distance, but when it's in full auto, the trigger goes even farther back, and that puts the sear so it actually will go down a little bit farther. So when it's back, it'll go ahead and fire and keep firing. So these little parts at the top here are what actually adjust it so that it actually will put drag on the bolt as it goes back and forth. But right now they need a little bit of, like I said, hydraulic fluid, and that'll work. So I'm very low on air, so I'll give a little test showing that it actually fires in semi mode, and then show how fast it is in full auto with no drag from the actual top resistors. Okay? So it's cocked. Now with TIPPMANN's Pro Lights and all the older old models, the line here goes straight into the actual valve, and that valve actually has to move back and forth. That's what's showing right here. This is the actual valve right there. And so when I aired it up this time, there was a little bit of leak, but just wiggling this sets it in just right, and that just probably is something that needs to be set. But that's kind of an old TIPPMANN thing. That's pretty normal. But so right now you can hear no actual leaks. Air is in there. I'll show you it works in semi. Let me put it in semi mode. Just fine there. Okay. Now this, switching this to full auto, again with only about 800 psi, so I'm going to go for a little bit, but this is how it is in full auto. And there goes my air. So it is a controllable full auto. When you hold the trigger back far enough, it'll go full auto. With the adjustment on the top here, these will actually help put drag on the bolt, and it'll actually work just fine. So that's the TIPPMANN FA. As you can see, it uses an old TIPPMANN hopper. Probably an A5 hopper could work on there as well. And the spring is still nice and springy. So that's it.